Hi everybody, this is Kevin from Texas Yardman and More. Tonight I am doing a video on a venison neck. I recently harvested a buck last weekend and I'm processing the deer, and I decided to make a roast out of this deer neck, and you can see it is about 14 or 15 inches long, and the meat on this is really delicious. So I wanted to show you what I'm planning on doing with this. I'm going to go ahead and put this in my roaster pan, and I'm going to cook this for a few hours to where that meat gets nice and tender. It'll just fall off that neck, and then it's going to fall right off the bone. So I plan on taking the meat. I'll remove the bones, or I could even leave it in, but I'm planning on making a type of soup with egg noodles, or maybe some other type of noodle. And I've got some vegetables over here prepared. I've got some carrots, I've got garlic cloves, and I've got potatoes, and I've got mushrooms and celery and some white onion. And I'm gonna put those veggies in with this neck, and I'm gonna let it roast, and to where that meat is just super tender. So it's a simple roasting pan. I'm gonna season it up here with some steak seasoning that I purchased from the store. And you just simply sprinkle it on the top, which I'm going to do right now. This is made by Fiesta, and it's steak seasoning. And I'm just going to go ahead and cover the top of it, and just give it a nice light coating. Flip it over. This is some of the best meat on a deer, if you ask me. I think a lot of people just overlook this. I like this meat. It's really good. It's tender, and it's great for soups. If you get some big chunks off of it, you can even make some steaks out of it. But it's got some fat content in it that kind of helps with the flavoring. And I think that's one of the reasons why I like it, because fat gives flavor. So we're just going to liberally season this all around the neck, and I'm just going to simply take this and I'm going to put it in the roasting pan, and you can see that it's in there nice. I've got a rack in the bottom of that, so any drippings that come off of it, if any, will fall into the bottom of the pan, and all those vegetables are going to mix in there real nice, give it some flavoring. And so I'm going to go ahead and add some beef broth that I have, and I have one of those right here. You can use any broth that you want. You can also use bouillon cubes. And this is simply going to be put in this pan so that it keeps everything nice and moist while it's cooking. You just simply pour that into the bottom of this pan. And this is a 48 ouncer. And you want to bring it up to the point where it's just touching the bottom of the neck. And so you don't want to overdo it. Just enough to where it's touching the bottom of that. Right now, you know, it's got that rack in there that kind of elevates it up off the bottom of the pan. So, and you know, periodically we're going to check this, because as it cooks, evaporation is going to get it, and we can either add more broth and even pour in some water. And so right now I'm going to go ahead and add the vegetables. Now that we've got the broth in there, so you just simply pour that around, and it's going to surround it. And we're going to go ahead and put in our potatoes and carrots and garlic. And I'm kind of doing this one-handed, so apologize if you can't see that well, but I'm going to come back in here and you can see everything's in there nice. You just kind of want to move it around, and this is going to cook down and it's going to be super flavorful. So I'm going to set this to roughly 250 to 300 degrees. I'm just going to let it sit over there. I have a table set up in the other room. I'm going to let it sit there, or I can probably just leave it right here. And I'm going to cook it for about 2 to 3 hours, and I'll check on it, make sure it doesn't get dried out and so forth. But when it's done, I'll come back and show you what it looks like. And then once it's finished, we're going to take a fork and just remove that meat right off of that neck. It's going to look really good. And then we'll go on to the next step. So I'll be back to show you once it's done cooking. Okay, we are back. This neck roast or neck meat has been cooking all night on a slow cook. I've had it in this roaster pan, and so I'm gonna take you in to show you what it looks like. So I've had it set low overnight, and we're gonna go ahead and take this lid off, and we're gonna go in, and you can see that everything is cooked in there real nice. I'm gonna go ahead and set this lid down. And we are going to take out this fully cooked neck. And I'm just going to simply set it over here. And you can see there's all these wonderful vegetables in here that we're going to use. And these have all cooked down very nicely. Potatoes are nice and soft. Carrots, garlic, celery. This looks delicious. Onions, with onions in there. And so we're going to go ahead and start to take the meat off of this, strip it down, and it should just fall right off of it. And I've got a knife here as well, so we're just going to simply cut on this, and you can see it's perfect. And you got to kind of work at getting this meat off here. You're going to make sure you have a knife, and you're just going to work towards the center. And I've got some mushrooms in there too. There's a mushroom right there. This meat also works perfectly for people that make tamales. This is good meat. A lot of people think, what do I do with the neck meat? A lot of people, they don't think that it's, well, they don't think it's like a choice piece of meat, but it really is. It's one of my favorites. And you're just kind of working all this meat off of here. Whoa. And with the knife I'm hitting these vertebrae, so it's like kind of keeps you from getting all that meat off real easy. So I'm just going to keep working it here. There we go. Some areas it's easier. And that looks great. And what I'm going to do is just keep getting all this meat off of here. And then once I have this all cut off, I'm going to put it back into the pan. And we're going to add some water and some more broth. And we're going to throw some noodles in the last 20 minutes. And we're going to have an amazing soup. Mixed in with all those vegetables. It's going to be kind of like a soup slash stew kind of. So once I got this all this meat off of here, I'm going to come back and I'll show you the remaining steps. Okay, we're back and I've got most of the meat off of this neck, and I'm going to show you the meat that is remaining. There's still meat on this neck, and I'm gonna save this and I'm gonna boil it to get the remaining meat off of it, but I have enough meat for what I want to do in this situation. So I'm gonna set this over here, and we have a nice pile of meat here that I took off the neck. And what we're gonna do is add the meat to the pot or the roasting pan. So I've got all the veggies in here. I've removed the bottom rack, so it's nothing but broth, juice, and the veggies. And we're just simply gonna take this meat and we're gonna put it into the pan. And I'm doing this one-handed here, so operating the camera and putting the meat in. So you can see we got a good amount of meat, and we'll make sure we get all of this. Okay, so there is all the meat. I'm going to go ahead and just give this a stir. And that looks amazing. And we are going to let this cook some more to get up to a nice temperature. And the meat has a little bit of pink in it, so that's okay. That's going to get cooked into this stew slash soup. So there, we got a pot full of veggies and venison meat. I'm going to go ahead and put in some more water, or put in some water, and the remaining amount of this beef broth. So I'm going to go ahead and just use up the rest of this. I've only used one of these for this whole recipe. And I've got 3.5 cups of water here, so we're going to go ahead and add that. And then we're going to give it a stir. Oh, that looks amazing. And what I like to do is kind of give it some seasoning. You're usually going to have some sodium that's in the broth itself, but I'm going to add some more McCormick's garlic salt. You can put whatever seasonings you like in this. There's no right or wrong. Just season it to taste. And this is Stir it up nice. And I'm going to go ahead and turn the temperature up on this. It's I'm going to bring it up to about 325. Get it up to temperature. And I'm going to put the lid back on this. And we have another step here, which I'll show you once this is up to temperature and has been cooking and it's nice and hot. I'll show you the last step. So right now everything's coming together. It looks good. And I'll be back. Okay, we are back here now. We're on the last step. I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like. And this has been stewing in this roaster pan. I'm going to go ahead and set this lid down back here. This looks amazing. You can see all these veggies and venison in there. Let's give this a stir. And this is going to be perfect for a cold day or any day. And what I'm going to do is just add, I've got a bag of egg noodles here. Doesn't matter which brand, just any kind of egg noodles. We go ahead and add these to this. Probably put about a half a bag in there or so. And these are going to soften. I'm just going to stir these in. And this is going to be amazing. And I think I'm going to add some more water to this. Just to give it more of a water volume. So I'm putting in 2 8-ounce cups of water here. And we'll give that another stir. Yeah, that's a lot better there. You don't want to be working with very little broth because these noodles are going to soften and expand. And so you want to make sure that there's enough liquid in there to allow for the noodles to expand like that. So we're going to go ahead and leave these in here for about 20 minutes and then we'll go ahead and taste it for seasoning and then it should be ready to eat. So go ahead and put the lid back on and I'll be back. Alright, here on the last step, the noodles are finished and we're going to take the cover off of this and show you the final product. So there is our noodle soup slash stew, venison. And this has mushrooms, carrots, onions, celery, and garlic. And we've got noodles in there, just regular egg noodles, and I've got a bowl and a ladle here. We're just going to go ahead and serve up some of this. Got potatoes in there as well, and my favorite is carrots. And this is going to be a delicious meal for lunch today. So just wanted to show you what you can do with some of the neck meat off of a deer that you harvest, and the meat on it is delicious. It's really good. If you've never really used the meat off of that for a soup or a stew like this, it is fantastic. So hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to go ahead and sit down and have some lunch. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up and hit the bell in the upper right hand corner for a notification of my next video. Thanks for watching. God bless.